stay open. Okay. Well, look what we have here. Alrighty, boy. Let go. I don't have a gun. I'm unarmed. I'm unarmed. Oh, I have
Beyond conveying critical information about the state of the world, the first two levels of Half-Life Alyx also needed to demonstrate some of VR's strengths. Conveying a sense of scale is something VR does much better than flat screens, and our early playtests showed us that nothing quite sold that scale more than seeing a Strider up close. In addition to the visuals, to fully illustrate the scale of a Strider at close range, we needed to do a lot of work on its audio treatment. Players had strong expectations about feeling the weight, power and presence of the Strider through its movements, particularly as it stepped on the balcony the player was occupying. In order to convey this power through sound, we layered multiple sound effects, allowing us to address ranges in the audio frequency spectrum and the temporal nature of those elements separately. We then combined those elements in the Source 2 audio engine to control them as one sound.
cool. Neato, guys. Good job. Now I'm gonna throw this bucket on that guy. Aw. Cut by the wire. Fuck was wait. What was that? Wow. Bourbon. Larger metal burb. Alright. Hello? Can you relax? I am. Oh, I'm turned around. That's why. My bad. Hold on now. Let's see what we got going on here. Ooh, it's so dark. Why is the door so bright? Everything else is so dark. Oh, there you go. Fixed. Never mind. Now it works. Look at that. Dark door. Easy. The guy. It's the boy. Hi, boy. Hi, boy. Hi. You want pats? Yeah. Ooh, the little guy, look at him. Look at him. Yeah, I shall cut it. I shall cut it. You're gonna be A-okay, buddy. Hey, 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 A-okay, buddy. Such a bright little guy. Well, feeding time. Is this your food? Is this your card? Not coffee, yeah, I figured. Looks like it'd be good coffee, though. Wait, can I... Yes. Have a little more. I'm gonna be gone for a while, bud, so you eat up. Shove this whole fucking can in here. How about that? Yeah? Yeah, you like that. You know you do. You know you do. Whoops. Gotcha.
This room, internally referred to as Alyx's Refuge, was initially the location where the Eli video call took place. However, once that video call was moved out to the balcony, this room was freed up to solve other problems. In the Half-Life series, we've always tried to ensure that there's generally enough narrative for all players to understand where they're going and why, but for players who slow down and pay attention, there's more detail that can lead to a greater understanding. With the balcony being a place to get familiar with the game's inputs, the greenhouse being where the story kicks off, and the Strider there to surprise players with spectacle, we decided that the refuge could be a quiet moment for players, where they could discover more narrative detail in the environment. At the same time, it could be a place where they can play around a bit more now that they're acclimated to being in VR. Spending time in the refuge is meant to bring players into Alyx's role in the Resistance and her place in the world. We wanted it to feel like a real stakeout spot, where Alyx had been cooped up for weeks or months while planning the heist, doing research on the Combine. The camcorder, snark, and whiteboards are all toys that respond to detailed interaction and reward deeper investigation, giving curious players more information about the world of City 17 and what Alyx has been doing in it.
Deuce. Whoops. No. I messed it up. Combines, feeder cables. I see nothing of value. Except for you, little guy. I'm gonna give her some more of this food. It's gotta last you like at least a couple of days. So, you know, shake the top a little bit if you need more. In fact, you know what? Automatic feeder system. You just shake it and you'll get a little more out of it. Don't eat too much. What do we have here? Calorie paste, egg flavor, my favorite. Consume within 9,000 days. It'll only take me 8,000. So shiny. I'm gonna need to take this with me. I hope you understand. Let's see. Easy. This heist is gonna be a big one. Water flavor. My second favorite. Oh. Can't believe I've done this. So, yeah, no, we're good on that, but magic. What's up there? Interesting. Radiphone. Yes, sir. Oh, that's no fun. I have to turn the radiphone on. What is that? Brainwashing. Do math. Okay. Oh, it's Dog. What's his name? The dog. The man. The man himself. That looks really good. Okay, hey bud. Oh, you're sleeping. Okay, well have fun. I'll be back someday. Probably never. Don't tell him. Okay. Sup, bitches? What we doing? Hey, wish I had made these interactable. Never mind. Okay, shit, my bad. But not all the way over here, just back here, just there. Interesting. Yes. That means there's no power, no current flowing, no voltage. Can we bump? Can we? I mean, I see a light, so you're fucking lying to me. I knew it. Peely's off the wall, dude. No? Okay. Can't savor the peelies here. Save on power, obviously. Green is good, but what about there? That's where we are, maybe? No? No? Fine. Linear progression. Blech. Horrible. Well, this is awkward.
Alyx,
Okay, that's my name. That's my name. Hello. Hi. That's good.
are we good? Yep,
Yeah.
we got the reactor. Easy peasy. I'm headed back to the safe house right now to meet Dad. Go. We'll be in touch. Stay safe.
Oh, bad guys. Run! Run! Be free! Watch out for that. I don't know what those are. I've never seen one in my life. I would steer clear. Sup, fucker? You wanna go? You wanna go around? You see this? That guy's gonna fuck you up. That's Jorge. He's my homie. Same. I can smell you. Why do the pigeons... No one can get this close to a pigeon. Are the Combine, like, extra nice to pigeons? But not people? Because the people all ran away, but this motherfucker right here, George. Jorge, George. He's coming up for a sneak attack, my friend. Okay, well, that was my bad. Jorge, run! Run, my friend! Okay, well, that wasn't very fun. Okay, well, it's fine. You do your thing, Jorge. Come here. This is literally... What the fuck is this? What was I just... What is this in my room? Trash can. Just like you. Okay. Can we relax a minute here? I need another base station. That's right. That's right. You see this? See this? Accurate. This guy right here. Furry. Anyway.
Two critical pieces of information that we needed players to understand were simple to state, but not so easy to convey. That players were playing as Alyx Vance, not the Gordon Freeman they've played in all prior Half-Life games, and that Alyx is going to speak, unlike Gordon. These probably seem obvious to you now, but until we focused on them, it wasn't obvious to playtesters. Ensuring that everyone realized they were playing as Alyx was something we decided to hit with the biggest hammer we could, and name the product after her. But even with that, we were very careful in Eli's video call to ensure it's reinforced immediately. Olga, the character introduced here, was added to further drive it home by calling out when the player exits the elevator.
Fucking Karens,
Olga is
dude.
the first character the player meets in person, and her dialogue here, and again ahead in the alley, is aimed at driving home the fact that she's conversing with the player, and that the disembodied female voice the player hears is Alyx speaking back. This was harder to convey in Eli's video call, because it already features Russell speaking off-screen, whereas in this scene, There's clearly no one else around in the conversational space other than Olga and the player. Without Olga, we found that even though they had already spoken to Eli and Russell over the video call, playtesters still didn't feel like they were Alyx.
Interesting. I mean, you should probably get like the dumbest people to be playtesters. That way you can really iron out issues like that. It's very smart. Part of a balanced breakfast. I wonder if there's a secret in here. I mean, it's got a sign and everything. Quarter. Anybody got a quarter? Hold up. Hey, yo. You got a quarter I can borrow? You just say no. Okay, well, he's an asshole. That's Ted. We all know about Ted. This music is going hard. What we got here? Man, imagine that there was a quarter in there.
When we started Half-Life Alyx, we were very curious to find out how VR would impact our music design. The Half-Life series has always used music sparingly, often leaving the ambient sounds of the world to provide the audio background. But it is a tool we like to use to highlight moments where the world state has changed in some important way. In this case, that something's riled up the Combine. In our early playtests of this scene, without music, but with many of the other visual and audio elements represented, we found some players didn't understand that they should move along, and that others became distracted by the interactive objects in the laundry. We experimented with some very simple quote-unquote action music to communicate the changing of the Combine threat level, as well as the story's intention for Alyx to get to safety, and found that players were less likely to forget their quest and move towards their goal. The music was kept simple and cinematic sounding to allow it to blend with the purposely complementary background sounds and gently start to normalize the use of music in VR in a familiar way. This success encouraged us to use the same technique in scenes with similar requirements later in the game.
True. Eduardo, you forgot to clean this. Oh god, I think we have a leak somewhere. Hola muchachos. None of these panels work. I can't believe it. Well, they're on. Oh, let's fix that. Nope, just rubbing the electronic nipple. Jorge, you came back. Hello, my friend. How are you? You're looking good. You're looking very good, my friend. Hello.
Alyx, over here.
Hello.
What is it?
This doesn't seem like a routine sweep. Are you sure everything went okay?
100%.
Something's got the CPs riled up.
Keep your head down and be smart.
Careful of that. Goodbye, my friend. Hey, could you let me out, actually? Oh, never mind. I will go another way. I know there's a nuggie in here somewhere. Okay. The forbidden nuggie. I cannot get to it. Hey. Bitch. Come here. Know where that came from? Yeah. You just wait. Huh, it disappeared when I went over. Magic. Take my plastic cup. It was glass, and I also didn't throw it very well. Yo, what's going on over there? Hey, what are you guys doing? Hey, it's my cousin. What are you doing? Cousin, Ricky. Oh my god. What the? A little bit of a, like a migraine headache going on right here. Gotta stay away from that area. Oh, it's a siren. I thought I was just losing my mind. Hello, my friend. Stay very still. Oh. Yeah, they want you to like move and stuff, but that ain't what's happening. See, because they gave us plates. Hey, you guys are aliens, right? So you like these flying saucers? I knew you would. Whoops. Okay, let's calm down. Thank you. Whoops. I'm on my own strength. Let's try this again. One more. I must satiate my thirst. Actually. You wanna go? Okay. Very good. Another commentary. Why don't we just come here?
The remainder of this level is designed to continue informing the player about the world they're in, and to support the increase in the Combine's alertness. We also wanted detail to make the city feel alive, something that becomes much harder later on, once the player has a weapon. This was tricky to design due to the challenge we're often faced with, the friction between narrative state and gameplay state. Here, the narrative implies that Alyx should be making her way back to Eli as quickly and quietly as possible. But gameplay-wise, we're at the start of the game, and players are still testing the limits of everything they can see and touch. Unsurprisingly, playtesting showed us that some players would dedicate themselves to following the narrative and quickly move through the area, while others would completely ignore the narrative and explore every nook and cranny. While it's tempting to simply remove all distractions in an attempt to unify all players towards following the narrative, it would send the wrong signal about the density of our world and how the game intends to reward players for exploring it. So we spent months refining this section, adding, changing, and removing elements. We tried to find the right level of narrative tension, where players felt like they should be moving along, but not so quickly that they can't stop to tinker with something. We put in enough interactive objects and narrative moments where players were always rewarded for looking around, but we designed all those distractions to end quickly, so we could encourage players to continue moving along.
That's why there's no loot in this fucking car, huh? Hey, I'll pop the hood. I'll see what's wrong. I'm the only one here. Oh, where's the hood latch? It's usually like right around here, maybe under. I can't get under. Fucking stick shifts, bro. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna walk it out from here. I can't get in. There's nothing you can do. Portal. Breen, look at him. The man, the myth, the legend. On the side's all goofy. It's a nice car right there. That Mustang? Charger? No idea. Breakfast? No breakfast. Breakfast? Damn. I'm so hungry. Wait, really? Can't go that way. I didn't expect that. Ooh, my pills. Pills here. Take one capsule by mouth 3 times daily. I cannot read in general. So, buddy, did you find your cat? Okay. That was kind of rude, but okay. I understand. I'll let you have your privacy, I suppose. Oh, guys, did you take what the guys? Hello? Yeah. Ew. Well, alright. No floor bread for me today. Hey there, buddy. Alright. Don't mind me, just checking on things, you know. Let's see, what are we doing? What do we want? What do we have? I think I know what I must do. It's time to begin my vent rat life. Alright guys, listen. We're gonna get in the shaft. It's my dream come true. Wait, can I Oops. Everything alright in there? Make it up.
Whoa, wait, I just live here.
Probable anti-citizen. Keep those hands on.
Wait, don't shoot.
There you see you on the end.
Raise the roof. Woo.
Give us
We didn't steal
Father.
anything.
don't care. What did you see?
No one! I didn't see anyone!
Get around and take it to the transport.
Oh, Dad.
Dad! Hey, wait, no!
Well, that was rude. What about that?
Where are you taking me? Where's my father? Hello? Damn it, where's my father?
In order to limit the possibility of motion sickness that could be induced by moving the player in a vehicle, we initially wrote this scene to have Alyx wake up after the van had already crashed. Players found this underwhelming, however, since the game seemed to be needlessly holding back an exciting moment that they could have experienced for themselves. Addressing this meant that we had to tackle the technical problem of moving the player comfortably in a vehicle. In this van, and in the train at the end of the map, you'll notice that the outside world is only visible through small windows. These outside views are necessary to provide motion parallax, but the small window size ensures that the player's field of view is always dominated by the vehicle interior, which is naturally in the player's own frame of
You
reference.
got fucked up, bud.
This greatly reduces the occurrence
That's
of
not
motion
supposed to
sickness.
bend that way.
Aside from the parallax of the outside world, we use animated lighting and careful sound design to produce the effect of riding in a vehicle.
I do feel like I'm in a vehicle. My head kind of hurt. Hello? Oh, hello, friend. Wait.
Alyx, you there? You've got to get moving.
Russell? I've been in an accident.
I know! I caused it, so technically not an accident. You've got to get moving.
Wait, where's Dad?
He's fine. Follow the drone.
Very nice.
So, Dad's okay, right?
Yeah, well, no. To be honest, he's in huge trouble.
But...
They've still got him. He was in a separate transport.
And you saved me?
Well, yes. I had no way of knowing who was in which van, so... Yes, the result was that I saved you.
Do we know where they're taking him?
Criminal holding. And then, when they realize he's Eli Vance, to Nova Prospect. But I'm already working on a plan to get him back. You're close to my lab. Keep following the drone. We'll figure out what to do.
Yep. There you got it. Hey,
Where the last map was focused on conveying a lot of information about the world state to the player, this map is where we need to start the player's larger quest. That means the player must leave this map with an understanding of what's happened to Eli, and what they're going to do about it. The player also needs to meet Russell, so they have a face behind all the radio dialogue throughout the game. Finally, we need the player to collect the gravity gloves and the pistol and learn how to use them both.
Spoilers.
This is a daunting list. From experience, we know that if we cram all that into a single scene, players won't be able to remember more than a couple highlights. So this map's purpose is essentially narrative pacing. We need to draw apart the required events, separating them with enough time and space that players could ingest and remember them. At the same time, we're a little under the gun. Playtesting showed us that by now, some players have been playing for 30 minutes, and they're wondering when they're going to see some enemies.
beep beep. Excuse me. Oh.
One of the first steps the writing team took on this map was to flesh out a scene between Russell and Alyx that covered all the dialogue we needed. Due to the fact the player is meeting Russell for the first time, and that there are a significant number of in-fiction events that Alyx and Russell need to talk about, the scene ended up containing a lot of dialogue. We knew there was no way we could build a scene that long without boring the player, and the most important elements would be lost in the noise. One of the first tools we used to address this was the introduction of Russell's drone. It allowed us to take chunks of the dialogue from that original scene and deliver them throughout the area preceding the scene. This meant the scene itself could skip over the in-fiction preliminaries and get right to the critical gold delivery.
I'm short. That seems about right. Where'd he go? Okay.
Russell, what did you guys find back there?
Well, that's the crazy thing. I don't know. Just blurry pictures of a building.
The Citadel?
No, something else. And whatever it is, they're going to kill anybody who saw it. And anybody who knows anybody who saw it. Which means us and your dad.
Russell, just hang on. I'm almost there.
Haha. Easy peasy. Human science. Human science. Human. Ooh, Cash would love that. Look at that. Right in there. Oh no, my bike. I guess we're going on foot. Whoa, hey, bud. Hey, friend. How's it going? Okay. You got it. 2 minutes. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. behind me. My rightful throne. Okay, that was... I don't think that was necessary, but okay. Getting a little fogged up here. Nice, good job, man. Hey, hold on, I gotta take this.
In addition to delivering narrative at a consumable pace, this map needed to continue communicating the state of the world outside of the quarantine zone. We also wanted players to understand when Half-Life Alyx takes place in the larger Half-Life timeline, and to see for themselves the massive scale of the Citadel under construction. The power of the Combine is embodied in their indifference towards humanity. They've conquered Earth with little effort and are now plundering it for their own ends. They put a modicum of effort into their propaganda, but it's ultimately uncaring. Later in Half-Life 2, we see Breen's attempts to talk to humanity with more seriousness, but it's unclear whether that directive comes from the Combine or if it's just Breen's attempts to be useful to them. Meanwhile, the Combine construction is brutally efficient. The Citadel's pervasive feeder cables make no attempt to fit into the lives of the residents as the Combine drains the city of its power. Within this playground, a nostalgic nod to Half-Life 2, this enormous cable has been run right through the mural on the wall, demonstrating the Combine's total lack of interest in the history behind the city.
Oh yeah. I really wouldn't have noticed that if it weren't for the commentary, I suppose. There we go. What do you mean? Why does it stop when I get on it? It's not accurate. Lore inaccurate. Hey, bud. Yeah, I'm spicy. Hey. Oh.
Alex, everything's settled up for a second. I lost the headset video feed. Can you see my drone? Is it okay?
Sure. Yeah, I'll be there in a minute.
Come on. You were a good boy. Ultimately, though, you're a means to an end. Okay, we're not closing that. That's fine. Standing by? Red leader standing by. Oops, I almost went outside. Is this not...
Alyx, great.
Hey,
Okay,
bud.
let's... Wait, my drone's okay, right?
Nope, it exploded. I'm fine, by the way.
Right, good, well, that's the main.
Should close that.
Russell, they've got Dad.
I know. This is bad.
You wanna know what I
They're
can
gonna
do
find
with
out what
this
he knows, and then... Yeah, they're gonna kill him.
Oh, God.
But, the good news is, we've got something they don't.
Which is?
My plan to get him back.
Great. Let's hear it.
Now, pretty soon they're gonna realize that your dad is not gonna talk. And when that happens, he's off to have his brain sucked out.
Russell.
Potentially. Maybe not, though. I mean, they could just drill into
Stop.
his... Oh, yeah. Still your dad. Right. Well, what they will do is take him by train from here... This is Eli... to Nova Prospect.
And if he gets on that train, that's it, right?
Not necessarily. Grab something that represents us. Okay, that's you.
I thought you said us.
Well, one of us, me, will have to stay here for this plan to work.
All right, fair enough.
Just outside, there's a second train that also leads out of City 17 through the quarantine zone.
Okay.
Both trains intersect here at Fairview Junction. You take your train, get there before his train, and hack into the controls. That'll let me take over the system. Train comes to a halt, you deal with the Combine situation, and we get your dad back.
Sounds good. Where's the train I'm taking?
Out the back, through the yard. It's decommissioned, but I think I can hack into its controls. Oh, and get yourself a pair of Russells on the way out.
Russells?
The gloves, Alyx. You know, the gravity gloves. I have a few sets through there. You can calibrate them out by the shed.
Got it.
We can do this, Alyx. You got that, didn't you, that I said we could do it? Because we're gonna do it.
Yeah, we are.
I'm with you every step of the way.
Sure, bud. Whatever you say. Much better.
Right from our earliest experiments in VR, we learned that players expect a high level of audio fidelity, even from minute interactions, particularly when the sounds are meant to correspond to clearly observable visuals. For instance, in one of our prior games, it may have been acceptable to use a generic sequence of computer key sounds when Russell was typing. In VR, however, we know that a player can observe the animations very closely, and even put their head right next to Russell's keyboard if they choose. In this case, players would notice a lack of one-to-one correspondence between the key press animation and sound. For Half-Life Alyx, we authored a set of individual key press sounds to be driven by animation. For example, as Russell's fingers animate to press a key, one of these key press sounds is played, resulting in precise synchronization of the animation and sound.
Huh. Nothing's happening on the screen though. I can still see that, like, you know. Yeah, Geiger counter. Or maybe not. Oh, it's a circuit analyzer. Russell, you're making me very angry. It's for you. Resistant acid info to disk, 138.967 seconds. Gravity, use this one, final V3. Final UG, final V2, incinerator. Really useful something electronic lightweight levitating is gravity gloves. Gravity, I like that. I'm sure that wasn't important. Let's see what we got here. This Emerald Multimedia 3D XP. This is an old school graphics card. Graphics processing unit, one might say. Russell, your fan does not work. That's your biggest fan right there. Okay, I'm leaving. I understand.
Russell's laboratory is the first time the player is in the same room as another character, and it highlights one of the main challenges we face when designing choreographed scenes in VR, keeping the player and characters out of each other's space. In previous Half-Life games, we could always forcefully move the player if we really needed them out of the way. We made several attempts at finding a similar solution in VR, but found that it often made players feel deeply uncomfortable or disoriented. So instead, we designed these spaces to allow for a natural separation between the player and our characters. Where natural separators couldn't exist, we had to restrict players from moving into the character's space, removing that limitation as soon as the character had moved out of the way. Another challenge was balancing how often characters...
Hold on.
Characters respond to player actions while delivering important narrative information. In early experiments, we allowed characters to stop mid-sentence, which allowed them to respond immediately to the player, and then continue on with their dialogue. While technically straightforward, this was incredibly difficult to execute in animation and dialogue without feeling unnatural. The combination of custom reactions necessary to cover the range of possible player interaction and the resulting return to narrative dialogue quickly multiplied out of control. Eventually, we settled on a solution where we allowed only a minimum of interactions during the important narrative delivery sections, and a wider range of responses to more complex reactions after the scene has completed. In the case of Russell, we layer subtle head facing and natural eye contact on top of his performance while he is talking with Alyx. Then, after the scene, when he is typing at the computer, he will respond to players trying to touch him or objects being thrown around.
We didn't care about a spoon? Okay. Well. This looks very good, by the way. Car.
Alright, you know how this goes. There should be a bunch of junk down there. Aim at something with your hand open. Yep, you're tethered. Now close your hand. You've got it. Just a little flick of the wrist. That's it. Great. Try again. That's it. One more time. Targeted. Close your hand. Boom. Perfect. We're done. Oh, wait. I almost forgot.
Alyx, up here. You're gonna need a gun. Don't worry, it's unloaded. It's unloaded now.
My man.
Oh, almost forgot. Guns need ammo. Here you go. Right, heading back to the con room.
One frustration players may encounter in VR is having to physically bend down or reach out for objects in the virtual world, especially if they have limited real-world space. A common solution for this is to provide a way to bring objects to the player instead of forcing the player to go to them. We knew this would be an important feature in Half-Life Alyx, with its sprawling levels and players' desire to explore every corner of the world. We didn't want this mechanic to feel too gamey or magical, so we decided to integrate it into the fiction of the game by making it a feature of the gravity gloves, which are a natural precursor to the gravity gun of Half-Life 2. This allowed us to present the mechanic as a real physical action that's enabled by a piece of in-fiction technology. To emphasize the physicality that is unique to the medium of VR, we used a physical gesture to activate the pull instead of a button press. and then required the player to actually catch the object instead of automatically attaching it to the hand. This made the mechanic feel more natural and rooted in the fiction of the game's universe, while allowing the player to feel powerful and accomplished.
Not infinite supplies up here. Okay, just as a...
Close enough.
There you go.
When a player pulls an object with the gravity gloves, we use the game's physics engine to apply a launch force to that object with a trajectory that is partially influenced by the direction of the player's pull gesture. We set the object's launch velocity to result in a standard flight time from pull to catch, so the player can develop a rhythm that eventually becomes automatic. We want the object to arrive at the hand as reliably as possible, so after the initial launch, we continually apply small impulse forces along the trajectory, represented by the white arrows. Those impulses help counter gravity and compensate for collisions with obstacles along the way, while continuously steering the object toward the hand, which is itself a moving target. A generous catch range and subtle haptic feedback when the object enters that range virtually guarantees that it will end up in the player's hand every time, even if their attention is focused elsewhere. One other benefit of implementing this with physics is that we didn't need to do custom handling for an object's size, mass, or inertia, and it automatically compensated for the non-standard gravity that players encounter inside the vault at the end of the game.
Come on.
Here you go.
What you got for me? One more, bud.
Alyx, up here. Heads up. Throwing down some ammo.
Alright, now what? Is there like a purpose, a point to this?
Oh, you took care of that lock then. Good. Great. Did have the key for it, but should have given you that. That's on me. All right, here we go. Next stop, Fairview Junction.
Thanks, Russell.
And good luck, Alyx. Goodbye. Obviously, just to let you know, I am still here, though.
I know.
Oh. Oh. Oh dear. There it is. Okay.
Hello, Alyx? We might have a problem. Probably nothing to worry about, but... Did the train stop? It stopped, didn't it?
Yeah, what happened?
It's jammed. When the Combine shut down the quarantine zone, they must have tightened security.
Which means?
Yeah, you're nowhere near Fairview Junction. You're just outside the QZ. And this is as far as we get by train.
Then I'm headed on foot.
Good. I'll see if I can get you in some other way.
Oh, hey. Neato. Blue Hat, it's been fun.
zombie here. I thought the Combine sealed up the QZ.
This one must have squirted out. I've heard they've had trouble with barnacle spores outside the containment area, but not about fellas like this.
Probably not a one-off then.
I doubt it.
Hey, buddy, you okay? Yeah, no, you're not doing too good, are you? Yeah, there we go. No worries. No worries at all. Let me in. Let me in.
Would you look at that? Resin. And if there's resin around here, there should be a Combine fabricator. Keep an eye out. We might be able to upgrade your firepower a bit.
Even in our earliest experiments in bringing Half-Life to VR, we found that players enjoyed exploring every nook and cranny of the environment. With the increased fidelity of VR, players not only expected to be able to interact with a vast array of objects, but they also had a strong desire to find something useful from time to time. This was so universal among testers that in addition to more searchable locations and interactive objects, we added a new resource, resin. Level designers could place this new resource in fun and interesting locations that weren't tied to game progression, rewarding players wider-ranging exploration. We also tied this new resource to a longer-term goal in the form of weapon upgrades, further motivating players to explore the environment. Deep scavenger hunts and keen observation would result in more resin to spend as a reward.
Come here, buddy. Come on. I know. It's tough. I know. Ooh, you got big grippers. I'll tell you that much, bud. I need you to. Yeah. Don't need to complain. No, I won't be hearing it. Okay, well, you're just gonna sit there. Goodbye. Goodbye to you. Hello. Hello. Oh. Oh, look at him go. You don't look right. You should be fatter. Hey. Yeah. What do we got? Haha, I'm authorized. Don't worry. Absolutely.
3 mags left. Huh. I think I can reroute this with my multi-tool.
You what?
It's a tool with multiple functions. So, you know, multi-tool.
$400 grams of kick-ass. I wonder how early on the lootable hidden shit is. Apparently not that early on. Oh my god.
Internally, we refer to this type of puzzle as a toner puzzle, due to its similarity to a real-world cable toner tool that can be used to locate electrical wires in walls. The toner mechanic was conceived as a tool for designers to craft player experiences around knowing that the player had to put their head and hands in specific locations. The initial design merely required the player to use their multi-tool to push a ball of energy along a path, similar to a child's bead maze toy. While this simple design was successful at...
But yeah, provisionally, sure. The Alyx.
Yeah. The Alyx.
Internally, we refer to this type of puzzle as a toner puzzle, due to its similarity to a real-world cable toner tool that can be used to locate electrical wires in walls. The toner mechanic was conceived as a tool for designers to craft player experiences around knowing that the player had to put their head and hands in specific locations.
Are they safe for
The initial
people?
design merely required the player to use their multi-tool to push a ball of energy along a path, similar to a child's bead maze toy. While this simple design was successful at getting the player to put their head and hands in particular locations, the lack of branching meant that the player wasn't required to make any choices, nor was there any possibility of negative consequences.
Sorry, bud.
To address these issues, we added the rotating junction element, which allowed for branching paths and became the player's primary means of interacting with toner puzzles. While the toner puzzles ramp up in complexity throughout the game, this first toner puzzle is designed to use a minimal number of elements to introduce players to the key ideas that power flows through wires, power can be rerouted by rotating junctions, and power has an effect on the physical world, such as turning on lights and opening gates. The sparking electrical outlet that branches down toward the floor is not strictly necessary for this simple puzzle, but it was added here to expose players to its behavior, since it was causing confusion in later puzzles when players were seeing it for the first time in more complex configurations.
They did do a really good job with puzzles. The toner puzzles are very interactive. Just had to be sure. Something else hidden around? Okay. Damn. That's rough. Damn.
3 mags left.
There was a headset back. I wonder if we go all the way back there.
From our earliest experiments in VR, we realized how critical high quality, high density lighting was to conveying a sense of realism. In game development, any technology choice involves trade-offs between quality, runtime performance, and development time. For Half-Life Alyx, we chose a high quality, high performance light mapping solution which required a significant amount of offline preprocessing. We performed the light map preprocessing using a render farm, which could take several hours for a single map at the highest quality, and we put a lot of effort into mitigating the cost of that high iteration time for designers on the team. Specifically, we implemented a real-time approximation to the final lighting result, which allowed designers to light scenes in real time with confidence that the high-performance light maps would match their intent. Most lights in Half-Life Alyx are baked into a single term that describes distance falloff and shadow, allowing us to change the brightness and color of lights in real time at no cost. This encoding also allows us to apply shadows from dynamic props and characters without having to render any static geometry into shadow maps. Our light maps store directional information using the popular ambient highlight direction encoding, an improvement over Valve Zone radiosity normal mapping technique pioneered in Half-Life 2. This new light map encoding ensures that the bumpy surfaces can appear bumpy even when not under direct light. This blinking light source provides a good illustration of this technique, as you can perceive the surface detail even during times the light source is off.
Barnacles, while an iconic Half-Life creature, presented some interesting VR-specific challenges. While their tongue is intended to trap hasty or unobservant players, those caught by them often didn't realize what was happening. They would become disoriented or even motion sick as the barnacle lifted them up to be eaten. These unfortunate players almost universally died and failed to learn what was happening even after multiple encounters. To address this issue, we created the tongue as a particle system. This allowed us to both physically simulate it as well as reliably position it for maximum visibility. If a player does get grabbed by a barnacle, the tongue always wraps right in front of their face, no matter which direction they try to look. This makes the tongue almost impossible to miss and visually guides the player's eyes up to the location of the barnacle, so they know where to shoot to free themselves. These asphyxiation visuals that kick in as the player is being lifted not only serve to communicate the damage the player is taking, but they also help to reduce motion sickness by narrowing the player's field of view. These changes, combined with sound effects and other visuals like seeing stars and blacking out, eliminate confusion for players and enabled us to bring this classic enemy into the world of Half-Life Alyx.
Fucking terrifying, bud. Ooh, a vertebrae.
How'd you meet my dad, anyway? You guys work together at Black Mesa, right?
Yeah. Well, no. Tricky place to get a job at, actually. I interviewed at Black Mesa. They said try again in a year. I don't need to tell you what happened after that. Lucky break for me, really. Not a lot of survivors. Honestly, it's a miracle you and your dad got out of there.
Hi. Hello, guy. Careful. There's some big fuckers. Sorry, bud. I need that. Oh, come on. I saw you. Where'd you go?
3 mags left.
It's alright. We're doing good, Alyx. You know what? Hard hat off. God, there's a lot of them.
We got a lot of positive feedback from our initial experiments requiring players to perform a series of physical actions to reload the pistol. Specifically, ejecting the clip, retrieving a new clip from their backpack, inserting the clip into the gun, and chambering around. Players enjoyed learning and improving at this skill. We experimented with using a single button for both ejecting a clip and chambering around, but we found that assigning these operations to 2 different buttons was more interesting, even though it was more mentally taxing. In fact, it was more interesting precisely because it was more mentally taxing, as players would frequently mix up the buttons under pressure. In the early stages of the game, players would be fumbling for clips, ejecting the clips when they meant to be chambering around, and generally making a mess. To those of us observing the playtest, this looked like things had gone horribly wrong, but players themselves consistently cited this as a high point of their playthroughs. Because of the physical nature of the reload, and the skill required, players blamed themselves and not the game for the mistakes made as they were learning the reloading sequence. In this area, we provide a number of static targets in the form of barnacles for players to shoot at their own pace, increasing the likelihood that they have at least a few reloads under their belt before moving on.
A lot of resin early on. Noticing. Hi. Give me that. What's the meaning of all this? Hey, are you slacking off? Yeah, I thought so. Get back to work, fool. No. Hey. Do you know where the nearest taco stand is? No? Well, locals, man. missing a resin or anything. Hello?
Oh, do you need a minute? 'Cause, I mean, I could pause the feed.
Just looking, Russ.
Oh, okay, I thought that was something. It was nothing. Ooh, ominous. We never went back to where that rat was. There was headphones there. But we never routed back that way. I don't think. Unless I missed us doing that. Oh, I didn't throw that good though. Oh, goodness.
I take it the quarantine zone is behind this hatch?
Yeah, that's where they keep it.
I'll look around for a control panel to open it up.
If I was the Combine, where would I put a control panel?
Give me a minute, Russell. Russells have ridges. That's what I've heard. Can I just jump over? That'd be dope. I feel like no. Ah, come on. She can make it. Hello? Okay. Hey man, you alive?
Oh. Ugh.
I didn't trust it. You know what, 2 taps. I remember I was stuck on this for a long time last time I played. Hey buddy, come on out. Come on. You're so silly, come on. We're playing around, man. We're trying to do stuff, man. Come on. Listen, man. You silly guy. What's the deal with this again? I swear there's something silly. Oh, of course. Listen, man. we're gonna need you to be out of here by the end of the day. I'm sorry, we're letting you go. Nice ass though. Don't tell HR. I don't need that kind of severance. Come on. Yeah. I'm not, sir. I'm not gonna grab your ass. No matter how much you ask. There you go, bud. Alright, thank you. They could have made that a little more obvious, I feel like, but I'm also dumb. Hello. Anyway, let's see. You know, this is very unrealistic. These, like, usually don't let you move one until another one's closed. Yeah, I knew you were in here. It's very dark. I cannot tell what's going on. Or if there's like things to grab there. Anything there? No? Okay. What did I just hear? Yeah, I'll believe you this time. Alright. Where you heading it? Where's the goodies, bud? Hmm? Yeah, right. Come on. Is that it? You fool. Alright, I believe you.
In prior Half-Life games, while playing as Gordon, the player saw Alyx use her multi-tool to hack into Combine security systems in order to unlock doors or perform other acts of sabotage. This presented an opportunity for us to represent Alyx's hacking skills through VR-centric minigames. All of our hacking minigame designs were built to leverage the independently tracked head and hands common to today's VR systems. We wanted to encourage players to use both hands simultaneously and move their head to create parallax to understand the spatial relationships within the puzzles. This locker hacking puzzle is based upon one of our earliest prototypes, in which the player was tasked with using a tool in one hand to paint a path on a sphere held by the other hand. There was just something fun and unique about using all of the natural degrees of freedom of both hands to solve a puzzle in VR. In its simplest form, this puzzle solution is straightforward, but the difficulty gradually increases throughout the course of the game by introducing static or moving obstacles of various shapes and sizes on the sphere.
How's this working again? What on earth?
There we go, finally.
I'm gonna head in. How far is Fairview Junction?
You'll go through the old subway tunnels on your way to the train yard.
Have they started moving Dad yet?
I don't think so, which is good news because we've still got time.
Oh, that's great.
Or bad news because they've already killed him. And you don't need to move a corpse, you just bury it.
Russell, are you seeing this?
Whoa.
All right. Here we go.
What are you?
In prior Half-Life games, while playing as Gordon, the player saw Alyx use her multi-tool.
I don't need you to play that anymore. other hand, go. Lord. Hello. Ah, yes. Intéressant.
Hey, Russell. I just found a loose syringe of God knows what. Is this medicine?
Does it have a skull and crossbones on it?
I don't see one.
Probably medicine then.
In our early prototypes, players could heal themselves by grabbing a Half-Life 2 health pack and pressing down on a controller button, which obviously wasn't a very interesting VR interaction. During the development of Half-Life Alyx, the Counter-Strike team added health injectors into CSGO as part of the new Danger Zone game mode they were developing. When we saw this, we felt that an injector would work well as an intuitive healing item in VR as well. Players would press a button to arm the injector as a way of indicating their intent to use it. This prevented unintentional use of the injector and gave us an opportunity to showcase how physical the interaction was going to be via haptics, animation, and sound. Some testers even initially responded with dread over the fact they were going to have to use a needle on themselves and looked away when performing the injection action. We also had to create approximations of the player's arms and body, as playtesters all had their own preferences for where they wanted to apply the injection. We even added the ability to inject into the head, since so many players tried to do it just to see if it would work.
Oh, just so you know, the Russells have a built-in display that shows you resin, ammo, might come in handy.
Got it. Thanks.
We had to ensure that players would become proficient at reloading their pistol during the early levels of the game, or later encounters in the game would be overly difficult. The prior map contained only static targets in the form of barnacles. Players could engage the barnacles at their own pace, but there were enough of them that players would need to reload at least a few times. This first live zombie is locked behind the chain link fence and cannot reach the player until the player opts into the encounter by shooting the lock on the door. The placement of zombies in the upcoming section of the game is designed to require plenty of reloading, to ensure that the player builds up this skill.
Mm-hmm.
Virtual reality provides the opportunity to add physicality to gameplay, but this needs to be balanced against player fatigue and accessibility. For example, we experimented with a low ceiling in this area, requiring players to crouch the whole time that they made their way across the tops of these train cars. Playtesters did not enjoy having to crouch for so long, so we raised the ceiling.
It's kind of gross, guys. Come on. Yeah, I'm cool like that. No.
Oh boy.
Yeah, be careful.
Oh, you know me. Very careful. You too, bud. Alright, listen. Is this one cooler? It's the same. It's fine.
The breakable glass panels in Half-Life Alyx are yet one more system designed to convince players that they are present in a living, breathing world. The panels detect the position of an incoming impact and procedurally generate new, smaller glass panels
many
in
shots
a radial
does it
pattern
take, man?
around the impact position. These new panels can then break into smaller panels themselves, and so on. We found that players would often break glass panels accidentally, then spend time testing just how interactive they really were by trying to break them more, eventually realizing that yes, the glass really did shatter at the appropriate location. At one point, we experimented with building special puzzles out of breakable glass, but in the end we found the glass to be more appropriate as a passive interactive element in the world, one that reacts in a satisfying way to a variety of impacts, from zombie melee attacks to incoming gunfire or any other physical interaction in the game.
Uh-huh. Is there another one in here?
Alyx, I think that's a combine fabricator. Put something in it. I want to see how this thing works.
Got it. Will it work on the Russells?
No, but it should fix up that pistol nicely. Good thing, too. I gave you one of my lesser guns.
Thanks, Russell.
Well, you know, in case it doesn't make it back.
Tell you what, Russell. If I die, I owe you a gun.
You owe me a gun anyway. That wasn't a gift. That's my gun.
Zesty. Hold on, everybody. Why are you making so much noise, my friend? Ooh. Wait, oh yeah.
Weapon upgrades are a new feature for the Half-Life franchise, and fictionally this mechanic paired well with Alyx's tinkering nature. We approached this design challenge First, by thinking about what sort of upgrades could be meaningful and also provide additional value to players without removing established interactions. With limited resin to spend, the upgrade system also provided an avenue for players to personalize and invest in their favorite weapon, or streamline an interaction on another weapon, increasing its value to them. For example, the reflex sight still requires players to physically aim, but it improves the feedback on exactly where their shot will hit, and exposes previously hidden enemy weak points. While some players enjoyed this feedback and new targeting opportunities, others didn't and would instead focus on upgrades that suited their style of play. This allowed players to spend their limited resin on upgrades they cared about the most. Another aspect of weapon upgrades that we focused on was not necessarily obvious when we first started to design and test combat in VR. Due to the more physical nature of combat in VR, it can really push on the mental and physical capacity of certain players, as they're required to utilize both their hands and move their head to take in the environment dealing with enemies. While this is a very natural experience, there's also a lot going on at any given point with reloading and combat. As we observed players in some of these more intense combat situations, we started finding opportunities to allow some upgrades to reduce the number of times a physical interaction was required, or reduce the complexity of a particular interaction. The autoloader on the shotgun is a good example. When added to the shotgun, the normally slow, methodical action of feeding shells into the gun is replaced with a far simpler, faster interaction of slapping the shells into the autoloader before they get automatically fed into the gun. This allows players to look around, focus less on the gun while reloading, and take in more of what's going on around them.
You got it, Russell.
At the beginning of the Half-Life Alyx project, we had the expectation that players would want to take a break after 30 to 45 minutes, since that's what we were seeing with the lab and other small-scale VR experiences available at the time. Because of this, we designed the pacing of the game's levels around play sessions of that duration. Over the course of development, however, the game itself included more downtime between intense combat encounters, and the comfort of the new crop of HMDs improved significantly. In fact, as the game progressed, we found that players were happy to play for hours on end. At the end of a playtest, players would often remark that this was the longest they had ever played VR in a single session.
Foolish man. I took a lot of bullets. It was not very cash money of me. Okay. No, that's fine. Oh. Hey, bud. Ow. Dick. I don't know if I like the sound that's going on right here, bud. Alright? A lot of noise. I thought this was burst fire. What's with the noise? Stop it.
lesser gun this is. This thing isn't half bad.
Damn. That's what I was hoping for. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright. And from there, nothing hidden around there. I don't think so.
Until this point in the game, players have only seen headcrabs attached to the heads of zombies. This led playtesters familiar with headcrabs from prior games to anticipate encountering them on their own. We decided to play up this anticipation by foreshadowing the first headcrab encounter with a headcrab that drops out of a vent before disappearing, as well as headcrab sounds in the environment, including a threatening headcrab sound coming from the partially boarded up doorway ahead.
Headcrab! Where'd it go? Ah! Yep, there it is. Found it. Probably only one of those.
Uh-huh.
Okay, two of those.
No resins hidden up here, okay. Alright, and this is where I'm gonna hop off and take a break. It was pretty fun so far. Of course, second playthrough, but very nice. Commentary and all that. But yeah, hope anyone who popped in enjoyed. And yeah,